All right, we're live. So where are you at right now?
I'm in my room. I'm in like Los Angeles, but I'm in my room.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yes.
so when this goes live, I do an intro before it starts. But for everyone listening, if you could just do like a quick 15 seconds, who you are, real quick.
Okay. My name is Satomaa. I am from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm based in Los Angeles, California. I am a rapper, singer, and guitarist. And I don't know. I guess I'm kind of new to this stuff, so I'm kind of just learning as I go, and I'm really excited about the journey it's been so far.
And you're pretty good at TikTok, huh?
Yeah, which is so random. I didn't mean to be. I work from home, so whenever like there's downtime at work, I would just start making TikToks and stuff, and then over time it started just working out. And then I was like, wait, I kind of have a little niche for it, so I started making more and more. And then as time went on, I gained a little audience, so it was kind of cool.
I love it. Well,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, most importantly is the music, and my favorite song is "Alternate" from you.
I kind
Um,
of figured you keep adding it to your playlist. It's making me really happy.
yeah, Gary V and Mike Boyd, Monday to Monday. Thanks,
Hmm.
thanks for supporting the playlist. Every time we post you always reshare us.
Oh yeah, of course. Like you guys support me. I'll support you guys like 10 times more. So
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well, yo, with that song, like you mentioned, it's in the playlist almost every week, I guess now. And
Hmm.
like, is that the story of you moving to LA from Phoenix, or what is that song about?
It's me moving from college. Well, it's a mix of both. 'Cause I moved to California when I was 17, and people don't know this at all, but I actually have 2 degrees in biology and chemistry. I was a biochemist, and I got in a pharmacy school. And I'm 24 now, so I was 21 when I graduated from college. And I got out of school. I made like a really, really like crazy choice to move to LA to do music. And my parents were just so confused, and everyone in my family was so confused. And I just in my head was like, I have a crazy vision. Like I know I can do it, so I'm just gonna go figure it out. And that's kind of what the song's about. I think it's kind of a mix of me moving from Arizona to California for college, plus like to take an extra step now, moving to LA. So that's what it's about.
Okay. And you said you graduated when you were 21?
Yeah, so I graduated high school at 17 and then college at 21 with 2 degrees.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a nerd.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you graduated at 21,
Mhm.
when did you write the song?
I wrote the song three months ago. So whenever it came out, oh, I wrote it like 4 or 5 months ago. But like it's funny because when I write stuff, I'll write parts of songs, and like later on, like I'll go through my journals and I'm just like, what am I feeling like writing today? And like so part of the song was written like 3 years ago. It was
Yeah.
like I'm packing up my shoes and undies, shirts and pants, and leave the town. Attempt to make some fucking money. That was 3 years ago, and the rest of it was just written like 5 6 months ago.
I love it. I mean, even when I
Thank
listen
you.
to the song, yeah, even when I listen to the song like in the car or when I'm putting together the playlist, I love it. I think it's motivational, it's relatable, it's also like your word choice is great. Like the
Thank
way
you.
you're flowing on the track, it's great. I love every part of it. And you talk about your parents, you give a shout out to your mom and your dad. Like, what
Mhm.
is the importance of family to you?
My family is very interesting. So we're from Ghana. So I'm first generation. We're from the Ashanti tribe, and my parents they came from like I kid you not nothing. Like they're both orphans, and they like my dad got here by chance, and then he met my mom in Ghana and brought her back to America, and they had my siblings and I. So watching my dad, make something out of nothing has inspired me like beyond anything I've ever seen in my life. Because in my head, I'm just like, if he could do that, imagine what I could do for myself and then go back and help my family as well. So yeah, like my parents are really important to me. A lot of what I do is just like kind of just to show them like what you guys came to America for was definitely worth it.
I love that. I love that so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
That's important, and it's important for people to hear your story too. I'm
Thank you.
happy you're including it in the music, like talking about how you want to help your dad retire one day and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, cause he's like in his 60s now, and he came to America when he was 21, and he's like a computer science like engineer. And I mean, I've been watching. I have 4 siblings. I've been watching him work. He works still, just to like, help my younger siblings go through college. So like watching him work this much, I'm just always like, it's okay. Like, I'll figure it out for us soon. So that's kind of why I didn't want to do medicine. I like with medicine, like you get a set salary. Like you go to school, you do your 4 years, you do your 4 years of post grad, and you're in school. And then, sorry, then you're licensed, and then now you're making this much money per month. That's it. Whereas like with music or with art or with anything that's creative and anything that's like on your terms, you choose how far you're gonna go, and you choose like what your pay rate's gonna be. You choose how like how you know like how much money you're gonna make depending on how hard you go. So that to me was just way more um, exciting than just being a doctor.
Yeah. No, I love that, man. You
Thank
I
you.
almost teared up.
Oh really?
I
No,
had
don't
to
say
wipe
that.
that. Yeah, because,
Oh,
that's important, and, I know you texted me before, or actually it was IGDM, but
mhm.
you told me your family was, from Ghana. Most of your family, I guess, is still in Ghana.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then yeah, and then I
It was
told
actually
you, me and Gary V, we went to Ghana, and,
really.
yeah, we went to Ghana, with Pencils of Promise. I don't know if you ever heard of them. It's a
Uh-uh.
charity started by Scooter Braun's brother, but,
Oh wow.
yeah, they help, they chose certain places across the world, and they help build schools, but
Oh nice.
they get the local communities involved, so it's
Uh-huh.
not like this big charity's like, "Hey, here, we're building a school for you." It's like, "We're building a school with you." You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
when me and
Right.
Gary went there yeah, when me and Gary went there, we helped out, but we didn't build the school. Me and Gary just, like, spent a day,
Right.
um, a day in this part of Ghana, a day in this part of Ghana, and we would, like, wheelbarrow some supplies and meet the kids. And Ghana's a very beautiful place.
Right.
When I left Ghana, when I was on the flight back to America, I cried because I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to
The,
go back or have a chance to experience this.
find
It was
people.
so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
It's so unique, and people that welcoming. I mean, I didn't go there for the first time until I was 19. I went there when I was 19 for college. I went there for like 4 or 5 months. And that was my first time ever meeting like my grandparents, like my grand. Like I have one grandpa, so it was my first time meeting my grandpa and my cousins, and everyone was there. And like I met them for the first time. Like that's when I was kind of like, yeah, I should like really figure out how I can like help my family because like there was like 30 people in one house. And
Damn.
here I am, like, yeah, here I am, just like this going to this private school in California, just like taking a little 4 month trip to go to America. You know what I mean? I started to go to Ghana, and I was just like, look how privileged I am, and look how like little they have, and look how happy they were just to meet me. And like they were all just like, because they're all kind of shorter than I was. They're all just like, you're so tall, you're so big, you're so this, and I was just like, really, like So, and we all have the same smile, the same like expressions. There's like 30 of me, you know what I mean? And like even like looking at all of them, I was just like, yeah, like one day we'll all be like living in harmony together. So that was like my kind of first step at being like, yeah, I should make music and like really. I've always played the saxophone and the drums and guitar and stuff, but I never like took it seriously really. So that's when I was like, you should take it seriously and see what you can do with your life. So
That's
it's a
so
beautiful
cool.
country. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Yeah, the people and the scenery,
The,
everything.
the
Yeah.
food, the dancing. You walk around, people are just dancing naturally. Everyone's just like on the street selling things, having fun. Like it's very, very. It's I don't know. It's kind of inspiring how happy they are with the little they have. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love it all. So you also say in that song, you're ahead of your time, and then you feel like you said overlooked for every reason.
Yeah,
Talk
ahead
a
of my
little bit
time.
about that.
I feel like what I was trying to say was I've always felt like kind of, this doesn't sound corny, but like an old soul, right? Like I've always was that person that was like when I was 9, I was rapping like every Tupac lyric. Like I was always listening to 90s music when I was 9 or 10. And like even now that's what I listen to is the same kind of stuff. I'm kind of like a little old head in that sense. Like I like things that people probably don't appreciate till years later. I always grew up painting and drawing, and a lot of my paintings I made when I was like 17, 18, 19 are the kind of paintings people are making now. And when I was making them, everyone's kind of like, that's so weird looking. Like, I make mixed media. I combine like, watercolors with acrylics, with oil pastels, things like that. And I would like, I do art shows that I remember I was always like, it looks so strange. I kid you not, the same kind of art that's going out. Like, that's kind of, going crazy right now and trending. I was making 5, 6 years ago. So I was kind of, I've always like had this little like idea in my head. Like I see things a little earlier, and that's kind of like my indication. Like, like if you have a vision, like you'll see it through, and you'll see it happen. But as far as like the overlooked thing, I feel like that kind of comes from where I was raised. I'm from Phoenix, but not really Phoenix. It's like a little bit outside of Phoenix. It's called Goodyear. So it's like 30 minutes like northwest of Phoenix. And it was a very like predominantly white, like Reds area, and I was always the only black kid in my classes. I was always the only black kid like in the honors program. Anything I did, I was always the only black kid until I got to high school. I feel like a lot of my insecurities and a lot of like I have a stutter to this day because of like, the from bullying and trauma and stuff like that. But a lot of like what I went through when I was like a kid came from people telling me like, you know, you're too dark, you're too this, you're too that. You know, you're everything that you shouldn't be because of how you look and how you know how you perceive how you're perceived. And it wasn't until like I got to college and I went to a white college too, and that's when I was kind of like if I don't figure out like what it is about me that's like I love, I'm always gonna be told what it is about me that I shouldn't love, and that's like kind of when I got like very like radical, and I like I became like my BSU president, and I became like I got very in touch with myself and started like learning a lot about myself, or like unlearning a lot of things I was told when I was younger. And that's kind of how I gained confidence was moving away. I knew like early on like if I would have stayed in Arizona, I would have just kind of been a victim to the bullying and I would have been a victim to all like the negative self talk. So I'm not overlooked anymore, which is good. But I think for most of my life, I was always kind of overlooked, and it feels good to finally be like, yeah, here's who I am. Like, and everyone's just like messing. Everyone likes it a lot. Like they're seeing it, so it's cool.
Did your parents move with you to LA?
No, my whole family. So my parents. I have four siblings. I have two brothers and two sisters, and my sisters live in Arizona still. My parents are in Arizona. My little brother is in Boston for college, and my older brother is in Orlando. He's actually getting married next month, so we're gonna go to Orlando for his wedding.
Ooh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, but no, yeah, no. When I moved to California, they were all just like, "Why would you go there?" And I was just like, "Freedom." So,
Well, it's not too far. Not
nah,
too far. Yeah.
and that's why I was gonna move to New York. Actually, at first, I got a basketball scholarship to go to New York, but then I went there and I was just like, I just knew I get kind of homesick and I wouldn't be able to like just drive back to my parents whenever like I was nervous or anything. So I chose California.
Hell yeah. Yeah, basketball scholarship. I see your shirt. Go
Oh
Lakers.
yeah, yeah, go Lakers. I grew up watching the Lakers with my dad, so I'm a Lakers fan.
Oh, you're not a Suns fan?
No, I'm not.
My God.
I know it's shameful, but no, I'm not. I mean, they're cool though. They've actually had a way better season this season than last season than they have ever. When I was younger, they were so bad when I was younger that if you got straight A's, our school would give you free tickets to go watch the game, and people still didn't go. We still didn't go watch it.
Oh my God. That's
So
so
yeah,
funny.
they've gotten better though.
Damn. Well, yeah, and
Hmm.
on top of everything you described, I mean, you're also like, you know, the child of immigrants, right? So like you had
Yeah,
to also have that experience too on your shoulders.
that was interesting. So yeah, we speak Tree, and I always understood I always understood the language, but I didn't learn how to speak it until I went to Ghana. So now I can speak it and like respond to people, but before I only understood it. So growing up, or whatever, actually, my siblings and I, a lot of us had like speech impediments because we combine our parents' language with English. Like, oh, at a certain point, they had to literally stop talking to us in their language, or else we combine things too much. But the cultural barrier is kind of funny. There was times where we go to the store and like our mom was asking someone something and they didn't know what she was saying. So we were like seven being like, she said this, and like having to speak for our parents because people
Yeah.
could understand their strong accents. And that was actually kind of disheartening too, having watching people kind of like almost talk down to them and make them feel like they were stupid because they didn't speak proper English. But in my head, I was like, they're pretty smart. They speak French, Tree, and they're learning English as we're young, as we're here. So like don't talk to them like that. So the food was different. Like people would ask, like, "Have you ever had this before?" And I was like, "No, we eat like, jollof rice and fufu every night. I don't know what macaroni and cheese is." So a lot of things we learn like from our neighbors. We learn like from like friends of friends and things like that about like American culture, which is kind of a weird way to grow up, but it was cool. I don't regret any of it at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, hey, young kids bullying other people and closed-minded people in the United States of America not understanding like the immigrant struggle. I mean, it's all really sad. It's all really real though, and like
Yeah,
it's good that you're talking about it. And you know what? Even though you may have felt so alone, I know there's a lot of people who have similar but different, situations, and I'm sure that
right,
they're looking for you. Like they
right.
probably want to hear from you and little young boys and girls who want to be inspired by your music too. So I think you're doing the right thing, and
Thank you. I mean,
I wish people weren't so dumb, but
I
it's
know, but
crazy.
you know what? It's ignorance truly is bliss though. So it's like the less you know, the easier it is to like go about life thinking that like, everything's just roses and daisies and like, I'm right, I'm the best, I'm that, whatever. If you really want to like be a true like how do I say this? One thing I learned was if you want to be wealthy, you need to be of service to the world. And when you're of service to the world, it means you learn and you're willing to like break your ego down and learn about people and figure out what it is that makes the world beautiful. I think people that for them is just too complex, so it's easier to just be ignorant and just move out your life like on a cloud. So if you can learn how to serve the world, I kid you not, you'll always be in good hands. And that's kind of what I learned early on. So
Well,
I hope like my music reaches people. I know that the more I make and the older I get and the more wise I get, the words will mean more and people will see themselves in me. Because that's the thing. I think like right now it's cool because there's more female artists coming out and there's more people of my skin tone and like my like appearance that are coming out with music. And when I was younger, there was nothing. There was Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown, and Lauryn Hill, and those were the three people I saw all the time. That was it. So now there's like tens of hundreds of people are making music that look just like me, and in my head I'm just like everyone's gonna find someone that look that they can see themselves in, and that'll inspire them. So that's like the biggest thing to me is like kids having inspiration.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. And you know what else is like you're inspiring people, but you don't have to feel like that weight on your shoulders either. Because just
Right,
you existing, just do you and
right,
make whatever you want to make. But people will do their research. You know what I mean? You don't have
yeah,
to shove it down people's throat, but they'll do their
right.
research.
Right, and I learned that kind of the hard way. I think like I've been making music for a long time. Actually, I deleted a lot of my old stuff. I started making music in college. So when I came back from Ghana, I immediately started making music on SoundCloud. And it was all very much just like we're gonna heal the world, and we're gonna it was all just very like positive. It was like almost like overly positive. And I think after a while, I was like erase all of this and just be like very natural and just like have fun and just like make people like feel something, whether or not it's like excitement or whether or not it makes them feel like a bad bitch, or if they feel like a little like angry, make them feel something. So that's kind of where I'm at now, where it's just like I write a song a day, and whether or not I
Damn.
actually like yeah, well, because whether or not it's good or bad, I'll write it. Because my thing is like I used to overthink so much that now I'm just like, what the worst that can happen is I write a song and no one ever hears it because I think in my head the next day it's kind of weird. So it's just like in my head, whatever I'm feeling, if I feel strongly enough to show the world, I'm just gonna put it out, until I die. So before it was just like you gotta be intentional and gotta do all these things, and yeah, you gotta be intentional still, but you have to also have fun and just know like whatever you as a person are feeling, someone's probably feeling it too. So just put it out and like see who's feeling it as well.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
with alternate, I think I recorded 3 different versions before that one actually came out.
Dang. What
Like
were the differences?
every single time it got more and more like deep. So the first time I recorded it, it was like I showed my friends, and like my friend Anna, one of my closest friends, she's helped me a lot with everything I've done. She's very honest, and she'll be like, "There's more. Like, there's so much more to you than this." And then she'll be like, "Go back," and I'll be like, "Real." So then I'll go back, and then I'll do it again. And then like my like boy band, the guy that produced it, he's like, like like this part right here is a little redundant. So then I'll go back again. So like it's having friends that literally know who I am and know like there's more to you than this. Just think a little bit more. Like, just give it a day and come back and then try it again. I listen to that, and that's how I come up with my songs now. I write what I feel, and they'll tell me like this is good, but like I know you can like make this really great. And then I'll take their advice and like I'll give myself like a day or two and come back and write it, and I'll be like I'm ready to record again, and I'll record it.
That's so cool that you have
Hmm.
that like friend group that gives you the real feedback.
Oh yeah, because most people don't like criticism. I encourage it like 1,000%. It's so important to hear people's ideas because you never know which idea is going to change your life. So
Well, what's interesting to me too is the production on that song is really great, but you didn't
mhm.
produce it yourself, even though you play
No,
instruments. Like you're unique because see a lot of people who have the ability to play instruments, sometimes it's hard for them to work with other producers.
that's I get that. And actually, I've been told it before too. People are like, why don't you produce your own things? It's because well, I also have a full-time job. I work like 50 hours a week, which is kind of unfortunate right now, but it's a work in progress. But I think like with me, it's like the whole idea. I used to be like a jack of all trades, master of none. So in my head, I was just like, I wholeheartedly believe that some people are better at some things than other people are. And for me, like I know I'm a really, really good entertainer, performer, songwriter, and rapper. And some people are really, really, really good at producing, and that should be for them. And I don't want to overstep that. I play instruments in my own time, but like for now, if I have like limited time, I'm just gonna focus on the music and then have them focus on the production, and we can come together and like figure out how to elevate it together. But yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I won't name any names, but I've been around a lot of musicians over the years, and sometimes people are too proud to do that, and it holds them back.
Oh, I agree. I'm very again like even like my engineer, he'll come in here and like me and him will butt heads, but when like at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know, what you're talking about. Like you engineer for people like I wish I could be in rooms with. So like if you tell me that this I need to redo this little line right here 10 times, I'm gonna redo it. Cause like you went to school for it, you're trained in it. I miss a girl. I'm just trying to learn. So like, you know, so we'll butt heads at the end of the day. It's like I really trust people around me that like want the best for me, because you know at the end of the day they're putting their names on it as well, so they don't want to ruin their own names. So they're not going to tell me like, oh yeah, it's good when it's not good, and that's important because a lot of people will hire engineers or they'll find producers that don't really care about the individual. So you know they want their check, whereas like my team, they know me and they care about me enough to be like, no, this is not good enough, or no, we're gonna get it right. So that's like a very very important, having people that know you and know like what you're trying to do and know your sounds, so they can like critique you so critically to the point where it's like, we know how to make you the best person you can be like off of this one song.
That's true. Yeah. No,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people who listen to this podcast and watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify or whatever, they're emerging artists themselves, or they're managers, or people just trying to get in the game and maybe learn something, from these conversations, or relate to some of these conversations. And I think
Mm-hmm.
what you just said, people could learn from. And this whole interview has been really interesting. And one thing that we did
Thank you.
differently today was we focused on one song, because I want this to be like an introduction to you, and I want people to listen to that song and
I like that a
maybe,
lot.
yeah, hear a little bit of what I hear, because you're just as good. You're actually better than a lot of people I've playlisted throughout the years, and I believe in you fully. Gary V believes in you fully, and we want to see you win.
Oh, don't make
So
oh stop, I'm taking all teary-eyed and stuff.
yeah, but your
Sorry,
music's
that's
great.
really sweet.
We have to champion music that's good. I was playing this song in the car recently, and I was with some people, and they were like, "Yeah, this is really good." And every time I send it to anyone, they like it. And did you get in with Fresco Trey yet or not?
No, not yet. I've been trying to. It's like, so their team
Yeah,
was
they
really
move around a lot. It's all
and
good.
then
They
when
move
they
around.
were ready, I was in Florida when Coach texted me. But I know it's a whole thing. But no, I definitely reached out to them though, because like I'm always ready to work. So like I texted his manager like his manager area like last week, saying like, whenever you need me at all, let me know. Like I'm always around. So
Yeah, and we'll
get
connect you
it.
with more people from the
That'd be
playlist out in LA.
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'd
But yeah,
appreciate it a lot.
my last question for you is really just, what's the plan for the rest of the year? Because your TikTok is good. Maybe that's like gonna be a
I
big part of your career. It really does help a
I
lot of
know.
people.
I know. And I'm pretty, is that how you found me? You found me on TikTok, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I posted this one TikTok that went crazy like recently, it was like the Destiny's Child, so good. And it's kind of talking about like, you know, it was like my story with with like mental health and my depression and anxiety, and how music and art helped me. I'm pretty sure that's probably the one you saw. That's how people found me recently. But my plan is kind of just like really just, I guess, ground myself, because like I was saying before, I don't get a lot of time because I work a lot. So like I'm always trying to be very strategic as far as like when I put things out and like how I'm putting things out and like the rollout with it, because I don't have any backing really. So it's all me doing my own thing. So like for me, it's like how can I figure out how to get my numbers up on social media? If they're playing guitar, if they're kind of previewing the song through my Twitter, because my Twitter is like my biggest social media right now as far as like the engagement. Like I have like 3,000 followers, 4,000 followers on there, but they're all very engaged with the music. So it's like just getting them engaged before things come out. So my plan mostly is to say is to put probably 2 more singles out, and then just take a little bit of a break and work on my next EP. And then the next EP should be really, really good, because my last one came out. That was my first project I ever put out. That was almost a year ago. And that one was funny because we literally recorded that like with the worst equipment. Like I didn't know what I was doing at all. But my best friend mixed it. She engineered it for me. Like we were just starting. We just had an idea and just tried it. So the next EP will be really good. And from there, I hope I just like take off.
Hell yeah. You know what's crazy?
Mhm.
A lot of times songs with bad equipment sound better than the ones with good equipment.
So, sometimes they do. I mean, like the first EP, like if you listen to it, because now that I know like what good production and good mixing and mastering sounds like, I'll hear it and I'm just like, ah. But like I know in my head it doesn't matter, because like it's still very raw, and it's who like, at the time I was, and that's the best we could do at the time. So like I still like I love it to death, but I'll listen to certain parts and I'm just like, you should just clean that up right there. But like it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah, because what's funny is that, like what you said, in a certain way, you just said like that is where we were, right? So it's like
Right.
that's like an extra element to music that people don't think about. And maybe art, paintings too, is like you got to take into consideration where this person was and what point of their
Right.
life they were in
Right.
before, or if you want to take it to the next level.
And I think something too is kind of track the growth, because that's the thing too. I think like the most important thing about an artist is like watching them grow. Like if you see an artist from a year ago to an artist now, you can see like absolute growth. Just imagine what they're going to do a year or 2 years from now if you give them a chance. So that's how I kind of operate. It's just like, yeah, like that was almost a year ago, and like I'm putting out, and now I'm like on this I'm on this interview right now. You know what I mean? Like that's saying a lot to me. It means like there's obvious growth. So like in my head, I'm just like, yeah, I wasn't the best mixing, wasn't the best anything, but like, in my head, it's the best to me because that was my first project. It means the world to me. So
Hell yeah. All right. Well, yo, so you said people should follow you on Twitter. Is that the place you want people to follow you at?
yeah, Twitter and Instagram are my thing. Like Twitter, well, I guess I'm not really, Instagram gives me anxiety, but I know it's important because that's where people are at. But I like Twitter a lot. Twitter, because everyone there is just so beautiful, and like they're doing all these things. I'm just like music, like so. I think Twitter is my thing. My Twitter is Toma Huh. I always say huh myself. I'm like huh, so it's like Toma Huh, TOMAAHUHHH. So that's my Twitter. Instagram is Satomaa. TikTok is Satomaa.
But
SoundCloud,
there's a dot.
Spotify.
There's a dot in your
Oh
Instagram.
yeah, Satomaa.
Yeah. So
So
for everyone listening, it's SA period.
dot. Mhm.
Yeah. TOMAA.
Yes, and then Twitter is Tomaha, TOMAAHUHHH.
But you got to give people your TikTok.
My TikTok, I'm pretty sure I think it's the SA.TOMAA as well. If they type in Satomaa, it'll pop up because there's no there's Satomaa in this world. I'm one of one.
Oh my God. All right. Well, yo, thanks for the interview. We'll have you back maybe in a couple months so we could talk
I'll,
about all the great things that happen between now and then.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Like, you have no idea how blessed I am and how happy I feel. You've made my day. My coworkers are all freaking out because I work in production. Like I work as a production artist for like movies and stuff. So they all know who like you guys are, and they're all like, "What the heck?" And I was like, "I know, like I know."
What movies do you
So
work on?
we work with like Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, like all of like Apple. Like, we work with all of them. Recently, like our most recent one that came out was the D'Amelio show, the TikTok show. Like the TikToker family. Actually, it was funny
Oh
because
yeah.
they're all my coworkers are older than I am. So like in the meeting, I was having to be like, "That's not how the app works, guys," because they're trying to figure out how to make the art based on the app. I was just like, "That's not how the app works." I was literally in the meeting with Hulu, kind of being like, "That's not how it works," So that's kind of funny, but. Yeah, so we work in production, we work in art. So I'm like an actual artist now, like a professional artist, which is kind of cool. But I would like to
Sick.
work on music. I would like to do music full time, but for now, I'm very blessed.
Yeah, that's how everyone starts out.
Right. Just working and just figuring out how to kind of, like filter out of it. So,
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that you never understand things until you get there, right? So it's like you might think to
true.
yourself like, "Oh, why didn't J. Cole DM me back?" Or, "Oh, why is Gary Vee doing this?" Or, "Oh, why
Right.
does the person who owns the studio operate this way?" And it's like a lot of times you just got to accept the fact that you won't know until you get there. And even with you,
Yes.
you're working that job right now, but when you do get to the point that you're on tour and you do this and do that, you're going to think to yourself, "Oh, you know what? Now I understand what I didn't know then." But I think you just get some comfort in just accepting where you're at a little
Right.
bit, but never
Right.
giving
Right.
up, but just kind of
Right.
like being
A
like, "Yeah, you know
thousand.
what? I'm gonna figure it out."
And that's so that's something people need to hear. Even that, like that little snippet right there is really important, because when you get lost in what's happening right now, you won't like if you don't appreciate what's happening right now, you won't ever you'll look back and not see how important that was. So I appreciate every moment I'm currently living in, because today could be the last day. So like, why not appreciate it right now while I'm here?
Hell yeah.
It's the whole romance or life or whatever. Just do that. So
Hell
it's
yeah.
like,
Well, yo, keep sending
yes,
me your music so we can keep
I
playlisting
will.
it.
I absolutely will. I have two new things coming out. They're kind of similar to Alternate. They'll come out in like mid October before my birthday. So definitely, I'll send those to you for sure.
When's your birthday?
October 26th. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh my God. I knew
Yes.
it.
Oh yes. Yeah. I always keep it on. Where I have a little scorpion, like I don't know where it's at. I have this little scorpion I was wear, but I didn't wear it today. But are you a
Oh my
Scorpio too?
God. No.
What are you? What are you?
Libra.
What's your sign? Oh, your birthday's coming up then.
Yep.
When's your birthday?
I'll be 21 in October. No, October 17th is my birthday.
Nice. I'll be 25 in October as well. So,
Yeah,
well,
I was
Mike,
joking.
thank
I'm
you.
not 21, but thank you.
I know,
Thank you for
I'm not
believing that.
19 at all. Of
Oh my
course.
god.
Thank you.
Yo, and shout out
Thank
to
you.
Emily. This is the first time I've ever interviewed someone, and Emily actually wanted to say hi and that she liked the music. That was crazy. That's mind blowing.
That's amazing.
And if you don't know who Emily is, she produces the show. Hello, Emily.
Hey, I don't know if mind blowing is the right word for me giving a compliment, but it's absolutely well deserved.
Really? Oh my gosh, Emily, you're gonna make me blush. Thank you so much. No, that means a lot. Trust me, like, it means a lot. You guys have made my entire month and like honestly my entire season, like year. Thank you for everything.
Absolutely. This is
Oh my
something.
You guys stay blessed. Have a great day. Happy Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, it was so nice to meet you.
You as well. We'll keep in touch.
All right. Bye.
Bye.